Hey, you. Have you seen Heather anywhere? Jeremy Revis. I clean up after the shows here in the theater. Heather's my girlfriend. Her father owns the theater. Actually, it's not that hard to believe. It would explain why I can't see anything, and why I can't walk away from here. So this is what the afterlife is like, huh? Not exactly what I imagined it to be. Wow, too cool! It's just like the plot from my favorite video game, Super Soul Suckers 4. She's okay, I guess. We had lots of fun together. Her dad didn't like me, though. He didn't like us being together, and so we always had to sneak around. One time, he caught us kissing and almost fired me. My mom would have killed me if she found out. Oh yeah, I play games every chance I get. Most people think it's a waste of time, but they don't realize how much you have to think in games. It keeps my mind alert, and it helps with hand-eye coordination, too. Not much of a waste of time in my opinion. Besides, it definitely beats watching TV all day. Say, if you happen to get a chance, see if you can find my Game Buddy handheld system. I dropped it somewhere in the arcade, and now I can't find it. It won't be of much use to me anymore, but maybe you'll have fun with it. See if you can beat my high scores. That filmmaker? Well, let's just say I tried to stay away from him as much as possible. He was not someone you wanted to be around. She's okay, I guess. We had lots of fun together. Her dad didn't like me, though. He didn't like us being together, and so we always had to sneak around. One time, he caught us kissing and almost fired me. My mom would have killed me if she found out. I didn't spend much time with the actors. I don't think I ever said more than 2 words to Eric Selvis, and I only ran into Melanie Gustafson when I'd want to pass a note on to Heather, which was kind of cool, although writing letters isn't really my thing. Heather was more into that than I was. Heather I knew quite well, obviously, and I knew her father, too. He seemed to care more about this theater than about his own daughter. It was pathetic. After Eric and Melanie killed themselves, Heather was really nervous. She tried to talk to her dad about it, but he shooed her away, the jerk. So I took care of Heather instead. Between you and me, I think Heather trusted me more than her own father. It was nice talking to you.
Hello? Hello? Is anybody there? I can't see you. Come to think of it, I can't see anything. It's because I'm dead, isn't it? I'm Heather. Nice to meet you. I died. I was killed by that man. I'd rather not talk about it. I know he did. Daddy always acted like money mattered more than me, but I knew better. He cared about me very much, and he never meant for any of this to happen. Oh, he doesn't feel responsible for everything, does he? It wasn't his fault. He had no way of knowing what Mr. Ferrisville did. Well, at least he and Jeremy are safe. They are safe, right? No! That evil man! Why would he do these horrible things? But wait, you said you talked to my dad. Is he okay? I was so mean to him. Do you know what the last thing I said to him was? I told him I hated him. And then I died. I was worried he thought I meant what I said. But I didn't. I was just mad because he told me he didn't want me to spend time with Jeremy anymore. Jeremy and I had known each other since we were little. We grew up as best friends, but recently I realized that I cared for him more than that. I loved him, but Daddy said I was too young to know what love really is. Plus, he didn't like that Jeremy was 2 years older than me. So he told me that Jeremy and I had to remain friends. Jeremy didn't know how I felt at first. We both worked at the theater after school, and so we saw each other all the time. But he just thought of me as a friend. So one day, when I was feeling bold, I wrote him a letter. Melanie, the actress in our theater's play, passed the letter to him without telling my dad. She was so nice. She told me she met her first love around my age, so she understood what I was feeling. 2 days later, Jeremy wrote back and told me he felt the same way. I was so happy. Melanie continued to pass letters between us, and we started sneaking away from our jobs every chance we could get to be together. It was wonderful. But one time, Daddy caught us, and so he threatened to fire Jeremy. I begged him not to, and he finally agreed, on the condition that I never talk to Jeremy outside work again. I had no choice, so I had to listen. It was. Jeremy and I couldn't risk spending time together anymore, and I wrote him one last note explaining why. Then, Eric Selvis, the cute actor from our play, killed himself. Melanie was dating him, and so she was really sad. Then she died too. Daddy got really stressed, and I was scared. 2 people I knew had killed themselves, and I didn't understand why. I tried talking to Daddy, but he was too preoccupied, so I went to Jeremy instead. Jeremy stayed with me, comforted me, but my dad found out. He exploded. I had never seen him so angry before. I know now that he wasn't really mad at me, but at everything that was happening in the theater. But that's when I told him I hated him, and I never saw him again after that. She kept a few of them in her dressing room, but I have most of them at home. I would give one to her every morning before I went to school, and she would pass it on to Jeremy when he showed up to work after school. Around dinner time, he'd hand Melanie his letter, and she'd pass it on to me in the evening before we closed. Every night before bed, I'd write a new letter. This went on for weeks before my dad found out. He loved video games. I pretended to like them too, although it was just an excuse to give us something to talk about. He could go on and on about them for hours. You'd think I'd get bored listening to him, but I never did. That's okay. Bye. Hi. The only one I know of is a trap door that leads from the theater stage into the basement below. I think it was used for magic shows when the theater was first built a long time ago. We never used it for anything ourselves, though. Although, my dad did sometimes go through the passage. I'm not sure why. He loved video games. I pretended to like them too, although it was just an excuse to give us something to talk about. He could go on and on about them for hours. You'd think I'd get bored listening to him, but I never did. She kept a few of them in her dressing room, but I have most of them at home. I would give one to her every morning before I went to school, and she would pass it on to Jeremy when he showed up to work after school. Around dinner time, he'd hand Melanie his letter, and she'd pass it on to me in the evening before we closed. Every night before bed, I'd write a new letter. This went on for weeks before my dad found out. That's okay. Bye.
This is a pleasure indeed. Primal atmosphere is my latest, greatest creation. And you are the first soul privileged enough to experience it. Sure, the production values were a bit low, but what can you do about such matters? In any case, do be sure to tell me what you think.
It was a stormy night. The kind of storm that sent a chill down your spine. I was alone in my office after hours, contemplating whether I should wash down my last shot of whiskey with a rum and coke, minus the coke, when there was a knock on the door. That's when she came in. All legs, no heart. The kind of woman you'd take to hell and back, only she'd leave you behind halfway through the trip. The minute I saw her, I knew she was trouble. The kind of trouble a man just can't turn down. This is my story. A detective story.
My first film. A little rough around the edges, I admit. But still as much a masterpiece as all the others.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Rowe. My name's Tiffany. I was referred to you by a mutual friend. I have a little problem I'm hoping you can solve for me. I'll be stopping by your office soon. I look forward to spending some time with you.
This is Friday, June 28th. It was a late night when I received the call. A doll in distress. I had been about to head home. Instead, I poured myself a little liquid courage, sat down, turned on the radio, and waited. When she arrived 40 minutes later, I was spellbound. Her long, gorgeous auburn hair, soft as silk, her tall figure, her red, sparkling dress, her silver, heart-shaped necklace, the perfume she wore, sweet like a flower. She was immaculate, and she was here to see me. She said her name was Tiffany, but her friends call her Legs. What kind of friends, I wonder? She had some business to conduct. The case was your standard fare. Her husband had been killed, a rare heirloom stolen, and she wanted to find the culprit. Easy enough of a task, but I told her I wasn't cheap. She promised to repay me any way she could. And who was I to turn that down? I'll begin looking into the case tomorrow. I just hope I don't end up drowning myself in this case. Because I'm already drowning.